Okay, Rebecca Nurse was the richest witch of them all. She was an 81-year-old lady who lived on a farm that today is called the city of Danvers. Her farm is today a city. And the judge who was trying her, he had this beautiful young daughter who was about to marry this Timothy guy. And when he saw this little old lady's, the farm she was sitting on, that is today a city, he just thought it was a gift straight from God. It was God's gift. God wanted that farm for his little girl. And he was so proud and happy that God would do such a wonderful thing. And then they acquitted the 81-year-old lady, Rebecca Nurse. And the judge just snapped. Oh, he wouldn't let that stand. So he forced through a second trial. And in the second trial, justice was done. And so once she was convicted, and he was again simply carrying out, he was an arm or an instrument of the people's will, or God's will. All was right, it was of the world again. He went to this little lady and he says, Rebecca Nurse, out of the goodness of our Christian hearts, we're going to give you one last chance to redeem your immortal soul, if not your life. We're going to tie you to this board and sink you to the bottom of the lake for 30 minutes. And at the end of the 30 minutes, we'll bring you up, and if you're still alive, that means you're a witch. And you'll be burnt alive upon a stake. But if you're dead, that means you're not, and we'll be very, very proud of you. And we'll give you a full Christian burial with all the fixings, or just fireworks, whatever. And so when they brought her up after 30 minutes, sure enough, she was dead. So they gave her a full Christian burial. And who moves into a farm but the judge's beautiful young daughter and a new husband, Timothy? That's one version. The other version was that when the judge and his assistant raised the board up and brought her out of the water, she was still alive. And she said something in ancient Druid speak. And the judge and his assistant burst into flames, and they let go of the board. And when she hit the water, the lake's water turned into a sea of flame. And some reported seeing a naked woman who looked identical to the judge's daughter walking out of the flames. And later on, the judge's daughter and her new husband Timothy moved into the old lady's farm. And then the third version was Rebecca Nurse sacrificed herself to give the other witches time to organize the first great witch migration of the New World. And the witch trail that we all know about in Salem that just goes, meanders around Salem, isn't the witch trail. The witch trail, the original witch trail, went in a straight line from Salem village to Dark Hollows Pond. I think it's in Winchester today, something right around there. And at Dark Hollows Pond, and the witch trail came to be known later. They renamed it Salem Wood Trail. Salem Wood is one word. And at the Dark Hollows Pond, they all gathered and they were stepping into the water, and they just disappeared from history. But we know that they reappeared in Witch Haven, Connecticut, and founded a community that thrives to this day. But that's just a story.